So I just got done watching Morbius, and I watched half of it last night. Got bored, fell asleep. Woke up, decided to watch the rest. And I cannot begin to tell y'all what a piece of shit this movie is. None of the characters were interesting, from Morbius to how the fuck you say the man's name, Lexus Crown, to his love interest Martine, to the uninteresting cops, Tyrese and whatever the other guys, his partner's name is, who were barely in the fucking movie, who showed up after all the damage and everything happened. They were just in the movie for no fucking reason at all. This movie should have not came out. I don't understand what Sony's plan was. I don't understand where they were supposed to go with this, but this movie should not have seen the light of day. It got a 17% Rotten Tomato score, which it rightfully deserves. Because there's no way in hell this movie was put together with good thought. It just wasn't. This movie was a piece of shit. It was garbage. It was so fucking boring. Even the fight scenes were interesting to me. I mean, sure, when Morbius uses powers and everything kind of turns smoky, and you know, that was cool. But the rest of this, most of this fucking movie was just a piece of shit. And I got bored and fell asleep halfway through. And then I decided to just do a review with just the 40 or almost 50 minutes of the movie I watched. But I was like, no, let me finish. Maybe it'll get better. Wrong. I just don't understand what Sony's plan is with this fucking movie. I'm sorry, what Sony's plan was with this fucking movie. Nothing about it was good. Like, everything happened almost so quickly, from him getting his vampire powers to being locked in jail to his friend becoming a vampire and them fighting. And the fight between them two was so whack. I mean, the ending fight scene. Morbius finds out that basically their surrogate father got killed or mortally wounded by Loxus. So he goes to his place, sees him there. They chat for a minute. He dies. Then he goes to check up on his girlfriend or whatever, and he sees that she's also been mortally wounded. And so he, she dies, but he ends up biting her. And then they have a big ass fight. Morbius and Loxus. And so he uses bats to, in some way, heal himself, I guess. And then they end up holding or biting the fuck out of Loxus. And he uses the, the cure to cure him. But it also kills him. And that's the end of the fucking film. I mean, everything that happened before that was just not interesting. It was basically like cat and mouse with Morbius, getting away from the cops, and the cops showing up at the last second. It's like nothing about this fucking movie was good. Luxus, his motivation didn't make any sense. I was watching another YouTuber. I can't think what the fuck his name is. If it comes to me, I'll say it. But I was watching another YouTuber's review of this film, and what he said made sense. Basically, this is Spider-Man 2, or The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Morbius has this disease. His friend has something wrong with him. And Morbius finds a cure, but it turns him into something else. And the friend wants it, but the friend can't get it because Morbius doesn't want Luxus to have it. He becomes pissed off and they fight. That's basically what this whole movie is. So you already saw it in Spider-Man 2. This movie is such a piece of shit. It should not have came out. I don't know all the Spider-Man references that were taken up. I don't think there was any. Well, there was probably one reference for Spider-Man that I caught on to at the end of the film. So there's two end credit scenes. In the first one, Michael Keaton's Vulture is transported to his universe in another jail, in another universe. And he's not freaked out when he gets there. He just kind of fixes up his little suit or jail suit and says, I hope the food's better in this joint. And then he gets transported out of jail. And then fast forward to another scene. He meets up with Michael Morbius. And I guess he basically blames Spider-Man for how he ended up in this universe. And he says, hey, in so many words, you want to team up? Michael Morbius says, interesting. And there's no way to spin this movie and make it sound like it was good. I've seen people leave comments in other YouTubers' comment section, and the movie was just, yeah, this movie should have never saw the light of day. And now I just remember the YouTuber's name. It was Cody Leach. If y'all get a chance to watch his review on it, watch Cody Leach's review on it. It was good. But there's so many negatives about this fucking film. It never should have seen the light of fucking day. The story didn't make any fucking sense. It was boring as shit. I'm so glad I didn't see this shit in theaters, because it would have put me to fucking sleep. I probably would have walked out halfway through. I mean, the fight scenes were kind of but for the most part, this movie was fucking shit. It's like, I mean, Sony, why are y'all dropping these movies? Nobody asked for a Morbius movie. Nobody gave a fuck about a Morbius movie when you first announced it. I sure as hell did not care. But y'all gave us one anyway, and this was the best y'all can come up with. This piece of shit ass fucking story. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. There's a part at the end where I guess after he basically, I don't know if he bit his girlfriend when he kissed her, but basically a drop of blood fell into her mouth, and she wakes up towards the end and her eyes are red, and that's basically the end. There's not a lot of blood in this fucking film. I didn't really pay attention to it until like I was watching everybody else's review and they were talking about it. There's not a lot of blood. The blood you do see is like artificial blue blood. So there's like artificial blue blood sitting in these coolers in a freezer. And then behind that, there's the real blood. But when Morbius drinks it, he drinks it so fast, there's not blood dripping from his mouth. There's not blood all over his mouth. He's just nothing. He drinks it so fast, like somebody took a plastic bottle of water, squeezed it into their mouth before any of it drops out, and that's it. When he kills people, it happens so fast and suddenly, like you hear the gurgling of like there's blood coming out of somebody's neck, but you don't actually see it, and there's barely a drop of blood on him. For a vampire movie, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But I guess I think it's PG-13. This is what Sony decided to do. Sony, I need to just go ahead and shove whatever otherworldly Spider-Man universe that y'all wanted to do, because it's going down the fucking drain. And y'all keep making all these anti-hero fucking villain films. As far as I know, I don't know much about what Venom's story was when he became an anti-hero. I just know he's always been a villain. He's always wanted to kill Spider-Man. As far as Morbius, I mean, I can't think of what his reason is for killing Spider-Man in the cartoons. I just know he always wanted to find a cure to what he's did to himself. But y'all keep making all these villains anti-heroes, and that's not what they are. They're villains for a reason, or else there wouldn't be a reason to have Spider-Man be a hero. This movie deserves a 17% Rotten Tomato score, and I'm so glad I did not see this shit in theaters, because it wasn't worth seeing. None of these characters are interesting. Like, why was Tyrese's character in this fucking film? Why was his partner in this fucking film? You could have took them out of this movie, and the movie would not have changed a fucking thing. They were fucking useless. They weren't there for nothing. All they ever did was expect the damage after everything happened, and that was it. Then they go on to the next scene eventually and do the same exact thing through the whole fucking film. This movie was shit. It was whack as fuck. I'm so glad I didn't see it in theaters. Sony, just forget your whole little Spider-Man universe spinoff, because it's just not working out. Okay, it's not working out. Yeah. Anyway, let me know in the comment section what do y'all think about Morbius. I know maybe some of y'all think it was good. Some of y'all may think it was bad. I think it was complete trash. It deserves 17%. But let me know in the comment section what do y'all think about the movie. Until next time, I'm Big O. This is the Big O Show. Let's get this channel to 200 subscribers. We're almost there. Peace. I'm out.